everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quisha King Show, where we discuss faith, culture, and politics, all geared towards the next generation. I am your host, Quisha King. Yes, that is Quisha with a Q.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This time.
Are you ready to get down?
ladies and gentlemen,
Is there an age limit when looking for love? Like, I don't know, say 77? Well, Diane Keaton is looking for love at 77. And I just wondered, can you really find love at 77? I mean, that's just kind of, it's up there. I mean, I'm not quite 77, but I definitely do not want to be on the market at 77. And so I was having this conversation with a friend of mine. And so we're going to discuss this because I thought it would be very valuable. So here to discuss this topic is my friend, father, and policy analyst, Reginald Blunt. All right, so Reggie, we were talking about this topic the other day. Yes. And, Diane Keaton, she is looking for love at 77 years old. And I'm like, can you really find love at 77? And more particularly what we were talking about, why it can be hard for older women to find love. So you had some interesting perspective. So I just wanted to share that with the people. What do you think?
Well, I mean, everybody can find love somewhere. Mm-hmm. But what you have to understand, at 77, your peer group has shrunk from, say, in your 30s, from here to almost here. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very, very short. So what happens is, at that age, even if you find a man around that age group, he's either divorced and does not want to get married again, or he is looking for a younger woman.
Yeah, and that's where, I understand that. And that's what we see. We see a lot of these older men trotting around with these little 30-something-year-olds, which, they're consenting adults, but what you were talking about, mindsets and different things like that. Let's share some of that.
Well, when you look at an older guy, it's not like you see a woman, even some women in their 60s, 70s, they're good looking women. It has nothing to do with looks. Mm-hmm. It has a lot to do with mentality.
Okay.
And guys in that age, you get to a point to where you're cruising in your 50s, maybe even your 60s. And somewhere in there, you start to want to elevate. Most women in that age are pretty settled and they want to just cruise. And this guy wants, he wants something that's going to keep pushing him up or going on this roller coaster.
At 77?
At 77. If you ever notice, like an older man, especially when you see him on the movie, they'll sit and they'll be settled. And then a younger woman comes in and she just makes him feel so good and he feels so alive. Mm-hmm. Remember in the Bible, mm-hmm. when they talked about David and he was sick and they put a younger woman with him. Mm-hmm. And they said, if David didn't jump off of that, then this guy is really doing bad. And that was biblical. They put the younger woman with him. So
what you're saying basically is like vitality. So if an older woman has spunk and excitement and she still has a zest for life, then that she could possibly, inspire the man that she wants to marry, or just be more attractive to her peer group, even though it has shrunk. Right. And there's not many men out there, but her being, sort of full of life can kind of give her more options, basically give her a better chance at finding love at an older age.
Right. Usually if they do find some love, it'll be in a group home setting, like retirement homes. That's
funny?
That's the truth. I mean, usually when they find, because you have males and you have females, and their space of what they want to do is limited. They might go on little field trips or something, and that brings it together. But if you're like separate, you have your own house and you're out in society, where are you going to find a 77-year-old man at?
So, I have heard that some of these older, like the nursing homes and like they're still, getting it in, they're still there. There have been studies that the STD the rates are actually really high because they are having sex. So, I mean, yeah. So I don't know, gosh.
But look at that. They're in these home settings, but you don't see them getting married. You don't see them like wanting to come out and they're usually still in the home environment. They're still in that setting. Rarely do you see them actually getting married and moving out of that. They're pretty much settling in where they're at. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's where they're at. But I mean, you're okay. You're a 77-year-old woman. I'm looking for love. where are you going to look? There are only two places. Very short that a man is on his own at 77, or the graveyard.
Oof. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, what would you suggest for women to do? What are some helpful tactics, I guess, that older women can do?
I'm going to give you a secret.
Okay.
And this is on men, because we can be so fickle sometimes. With a woman, whether she's in her 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, with men, no matter what you give them and how you give it to them, you have to always make him think that there's always more to come. Because if you get too settled and complacent, then all the vitality goes out. But, you know, psychologically, you can make him think, oh, it's more to come. And he's kind of enthusiastic about that. I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
But when they get settled and they kind of just are in cruise, eventually, you know, he's going to want to come into some rising and up. And that's where a lot of times with the younger women, they see that, because she's enthusiastic. And he's like, he might not be that enthusiastic, but his spirit is like, wow, okay, this is fun. Yeah, I do want to go here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's go to the water park. You know, she's bringing that out in them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the older women, they're more settled. They want to, you know, sit on the pool side. They wanna, you know, pick some daisies. They want a little picnic with a little red and white. And that can be, I'm not saying that that's the rule, but normally what happens is when they're into that, this guy's looking for something that's going to give him some life.
Yeah,
you know?
some life and some vitality. Yeah, I could understand that, especially, you know, he's probably thinking about his last days. He's probably thinking about, what that's going to look like. And, you know, life is meant to live. And, you know, I totally can relate to that. And so as I am on my journey, you know, intentionally to hope prayerfully be married well before 77, Lord, please. Then, you know, I will keep that in mind. And all of you ladies who are watching out there, keep that in mind too, that, you know, keep your liveliness, keep your excitement, keep your vitality. Because I bet you that remembering the spirit of life and that it's meant to be lived and all those exciting things, I bet that will help you as well. And it will uplift your own spirit. So thank you very much for this excellent wisdom on this topic.
Well, thank you, Quisha.